This is a 2024 Lincoln Nautilus Reserve Hybrid. And it's time for a fuel economy test. Good morning, everybody. It is early in the morning on the weekend to avoid much traffic, and it is not ideal conditions. It is in the mid-40s. It is raining, but you need to get places in all kinds of conditions. So we're still going to do a fuel economy test. This is going to be an interstate fuel economy test because I am curious to see how this hybrid Lincoln Nautilus performs. We're going to do it at two different speeds, 65 miles an hour and 75 miles an hour. I am going to use the trip computer to calculate this, and I'm going to do that for two reasons. Generally, I think they're fairly accurate, but if you don't trust them, you can tack off a mile or gallon or two if you think that's better. But also, a big part of this test is to see the difference in fuel economy when you go slower and faster speeds. Also, one caveat that I want to say right off the bat is mid-40s, raining, not ideal conditions for fuel economy. It's probably going to be able to do a little bit better than the results we get today if it were 60 degrees and sunny. All right, but let me show you where we're starting. First of all, I can tell you that it's 45 degrees and raining. Obviously, I can see that it's raining, but I can also just look at my panoramic display, and right now I have the weather, my trip fuel economy, and my overall fuel economy posted on the board. And that was easy to do because the display controls are really easy and intuitive, and so is resetting the trip. And there it is, reset. So let's see what we can get. Okay, cruise control is set at 65 miles an hour and off we go. I should tell you that the trip is going to be a little bit over 40 miles. I have a there and back setup so that if there's any elevation change in my route, it's canceled out going the other way, uphill one way, downhill the other. Also, if there tends to be a prevailing wind in the weather, if it's a headwind one way, it's a tailwind the other way, those kinds of things. Okay, let me tell you a little bit about this car. This is the second generation Lincoln Nautilus, brand new for 2024. This is the second generation for the name Lincoln Nautilus. This was the Lincoln MKX beforehand. That car first came out in 2007. There are two different powertrains offered in the Lincoln. Both of them start with a turbocharged 2-liter 4-cylinder motor, but one of them also gets a hybrid system. This one does have the hybrid, and as a result, we have 310 horsepower and 295 pound-feet of torque. This is a continuously variable transmission, and the electric motor is housed within that transmission, and the electric motor on its own does make 134 horsepower. Regardless of which engine you choose or which trim of Nautilus you choose, it is an all-wheel drive SUV. Speaking of trims, there are three of them: Premier, Reserve, and Black Label. This is a Reserve, so it is the middle of the road trim. However, this is a very well-equipped middle-of-the-road trim. I have heated seats, heated steering wheel, ventilated seats, massaging seats. I have a panoramic moonroof. I have wireless Android Auto, wireless Apple CarPlay, Google built in. I have Blue Cruise. That is Ford's answer to General Motors Super Cruise hands-free technology. And I'm going to take my hands off the wheel in a moment and not put them back on. Although with the weather, I'm not sure that Blue Cruise is going to be super interested in working for me. TBD on that. Also, I have reviewed the Nautilus already, so if you want a more complete understanding of this car, details, walking around, and all that kind of stuff, I will have a link to that video in the description, and it should pop up on the screen right now. Of course, you already saw it at the beginning, but the most dominant feature of this Nautilus is the 48-inch screen that's tucked right up against, just ahead of the windshield. And it is, at first, such a distracting sounding number. How can you have a 48-inch screen and also still look out of the windshield of a car. But I have to say that Lincoln did a really good job to integrate this system, that it is much more helpful and much less distracting than I would have guessed. And also, that means I can have lots of information up on the screen that's really easy to see, like fuel economy so far. Let me show you that. So as you can see, we're about 7.5 miles into this trip, and we're getting a little bit better than 28 miles to the gallon so far. Coming up on the halfway point, we've gone about 19 miles so far, and I did forget to mention that I am in the conserve or eco driving mode right now, but with steady state interstate driving, I don't think that makes much of a difference. But, you know, for the little bits of accelerating and decelerating, probably doesn't hurt. Also, one of the features this car has is a seat massage, so I might as well be getting one, and I'll show you how to turn it on because it is really simple. Go to vehicle, go to seats, says driver, go to massage, and let's go for a relaxing massage. And there we go. Yep, getting a massage. It's a lovely way to start the morning. In terms of fuel economy, we are currently getting 29.5 miles to the gallon. Not a bad start so far. See, we've gone 0.6 of a mile on electric only, but most of it has been the engine. But also, there is one other thing I wanted to show you. The fuel economy meter, the 26.4, that's the overall fuel economy. But then there's that needle. So you can see at the moment, we're doing probably better than 30 miles to the gallon, maybe closer to 35 miles to the gallon at the moment. Okay, we're about to the halfway point. Time to turn around and head back. Cruise control is back on and we're heading back, and the rain's let up enough that I have Blue Cruise. All right, time to head back. About 3/4 of the way through this loop, and I wanted to mention that this is a fantastic highway cruising crossover SUV. Lincoln did a really good job with both road and wind isolation. It is nice and quiet in this cabin. And then on top of that, I've got this really nice seat massage going on right now. And I have Blue Cruise at the moment, so I can do all the hand gestures I want to do. So this is very comfortable. Even though it's 44 degrees outside, it is basically perfect inside. It's quiet in here. It's calming in here. Low stress. This is just a lovely cruising car. And so far, at least, we are getting 30.5 miles to the gallon. Not bad for something this big, not bad at all. This is 65 miles an hour, but this is also less than ideal conditions. Okay, 65 mile an hour loop is done, and I got 31 miles to the gallon exactly. So at 65 miles an hour, in these weather conditions with the rain and the colder weather, I hit the EPA rated highway fuel economy. Not looking good for 75 miles an hour in terms of that, but that's okay. That was expected. And I was passed a lot. I did make one pass while we were out there, and it was interesting. In the heavy rain, Blue Cruise never worked. But as the rain got lighter, Blue Cruise worked on and off. So I was probably on the way back. I was probably like 65% Blue Cruise hands-free driving. So pretty good, actually, considering everything. Fingers crossed, the rain's going to stay lighter, so maybe I'll have more Blue Cruise for the 75 mile an hour loop. But okay, time to reset the trip odometer and see what we get at 75 miles an hour. Let's go. Cruise control is set. Up to 75 miles an hour. Now. All right, here we go. Almost done with the first half of the 75 mile an hour loop, and I just wanted to say that at this speed, this is still a very quiet, very isolated cabin. Wind noise is still kept out really well. Road noise is still quiet. That's going really well. And we are getting light rain, but it's light enough that I have been Super Cruise for more than half the time on the way down. So getting more Super Cruise this time as well. Yeah, honestly, very pleasant driving experience. All right, heading back, still getting a massage. And right now, getting right around 27 miles to the gallon. Let's see what we end up with. Okay, 75 mile an hour loop is done, and we got 27.6 miles per gallon. You can see we did 44.4 miles, and it was definitely faster. So yeah, definitely beneath what we achieved going 65 miles an hour, completely expected. But considering the weather and the temperature and everything else, you know, not as far of a drop off as I expected. Still good fuel economy for this larger 2-row crossover SUV. And it's nice and quiet in here. Obviously tons of information to see in here. Seat massage is always nice. Heated steering wheel, heated seat. This was a very, very comfortable fuel economy test. And the 2024 Lincoln Nautilus is a very, very comfortable SUV and an attractive one as well. So if you want to get decent fuel economy and be very comfortable while you do it, the Lincoln is a great, great choice. I'm Robin Warner. Thank you very much for watching.